The Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League is proudly brought to you by Hockey New Zealand in association with Sentinel Homes, Vantage Windows and Doors, Computer Concepts Limited, Sky Sport, your home for hockey, and Sport New Zealand. The Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League, live.
Welcome to finals day of the 2020 Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League from the Gallagher Hockey Centre here in Hamilton. A pleasure that you'll be able to join us today for the final two games of the inaugural competition. We have a third and fourth place playoff match first between the Northern Tridents and the Hauraki Mavericks. And then at 2 o'clock this afternoon, we'll have the grand final between the Central Falcons and the Southern Alpiners. And as you can see, it's a beautiful day for hockey here in Hamilton. No rain is forecast today. A little breeze again blowing from the west, but we have nice sunny conditions and it's quite mild as well for today's game. Yes, the Tridents and the Mavericks battling for third and fourth place. The Tridents coming into this contest finishing in fourth place, just the one draw in their six matches, and the Mavericks did win 3 of their 6, had a draw in 1 and had 2 losses. Here is the Northern Tridents lineup for this clash today. Left out of the team today is number 16, Benji Edwards. He continues to struggle with injury. Kieran O'Connor is also not playing today. A slight surprise there. The Black Sticks player left out of the team. Those are the two players who are out. Much will rely once again on their established Black Sticks players, the captain, George Muir, and Steve Edwards, number 17, and their goalkeeper, Richard Joyce, who's been in pretty decent form since coming back into the lineup as well. And here is the Hauraki Mavericks today. Jared Punch here continues to have an Achilles problem and won't be playing in this contest. Number 13, Garrick Tatoy, is out of the lineup today, and Xander Fraser as well. And those are the 3 players left. So coming back into the team today are Campbell McLean and Malcolm Curley, number 19 and number 9 respectively. Their captain today is Nick Woods, who's also their leading goal scorer. And joining me for finals day is Lincoln Churchill. One more chance for these teams to impress, not only to see who gets third place, Lincoln, but with Vantage Black Sticks national squad places on the line, they have plenty to play for, these players.
Yep, they certainly do. I think the Mavericks will be pretty keen to prove a bit of a point. I thought they were pretty ordinary for large parts of yesterday's game, so I'm sure they'll be looking to try and put their best foot forward here today and show what they're capable of. And the Tridents will be desperate to try and register a W after, being on the wrong side of the score sheet in every game bar one.
Yes, indeed. Yesterday's game was close for the Tridents. They did lead 2-0 at halftime in this corresponding fixture yesterday, but the Mavericks did score 3 second-half goals to come back and win that game. And in the first round, it was the Mavericks winning 2-0, with both of those goals coming in the first quarter. So Mavericks looking to sweep the Tridents, and the Tridents looking to avoid that in this game here today.
Yep, the battle of the Upper North Island, so everything south of Taupo playing for the cup today. I don't know what the dividing line is. I was going to say the Bombays, but it's not actually, is it? Because Auckland are with the Mavericks, so it's basically up to the bridge.
So here are the umpires for the clash today. Simon Taylor from North Harbour, who's bound for Tokyo in 2021. Bevan Nicol, a local umpire from Waikato. Both have international experience. In Simon Taylor's case, he has oodles of international experience. So looking forward to seeing them control this fixture.
Actually looks like Nick.
There was been a late change, hasn't
Yeah,
there?
it might have been a change in the umpiring lineup there. But, doesn't look like Bevan Nicol.
All right, anyway, we'll get that confirmed for you in a moment. Here is the Tridents lineup. They have 7 Black Sticks playing in the game today, including their goalkeeper Richard Joyce. Number 7, Xavier Guy is another player who's represented New Zealand. In between those players, Richmond Lum, Charles Ulrich, Nitesh Suka and Robbie Capisi. Sam Houston's back in the lineup today. He scored a couple of goals for this team. He's wearing number 8. Number 9, Mitch Haid. Number 10 is George Muir, 140 games for New Zealand. He debuted in 2013. Number 11 is Isaac Holbrook. Number 13, Liam Mortimer, a good young player. Sanjay Lala, who's been solid at the back, wearing 14 for this contest. Corey Bennett has scored 2 goals in yesterday's fixture, both from penalty corners. He's wearing 15. Steve Edwards, 220 games, the most capped Black Stick player in this Northern Tridents lineup. Kim Kingston, Connor Greentree and Matt Simons complete the lineup. And all the Tridents have 7 Black Sticks, 583 caps in that squad, which is coached by Bryce Collins, a former Black Sticks player himself and the current assistant coach of the Vantage Black Sticks. The Mavericks, another Black Sticks goalkeeper for them is Leon Hayward, the Australian-born player. Taylor Craigie, the backup goalkeeper. Aidan Sarakaya, who scored the winner in yesterday's corresponding fixture near the end of the clash. He's wearing 4. Jacob Suchun, Max Wyndham-Smith, 2 young strikers, wearing 5 and 6 respectively. Matt Reese, Gibbs, Tim Neal, Malcolm Curley, all midfielders. Number 10 is Marcus Child. Here he is, the brother of Simon. Aaron Panchia, the 5th most caps New Zealand player of all time, is wearing 11. Cam Hay, 29-year-old, 5 caps to his name at international level. John T. Kenny, he has 13 caps. Nick Woods is the captain, wearing 15. In contention, you'd think, to be MVP of this tournament. Simon Child, looking to see him fire up again, wearing 17. Shea Iswa, Campbell McLean, Daniel Panchia and Oliver McIntyre complete the lineup. And the coach of the Mavericks is Dean Cousins. And we'll be back for the start of this match. 3rd and 4th place playoff right after this.
A new home is one of life's great adventures. Sentinel will help you enjoy the journey. Sentinel Homes. Design, build, enjoy. All set for a start in this 3rd and 4th place playoff match
between the Hauraki Mavericks in the orange and the Northern Tridents in the blue. There we are underway, and it is Nick Woods with the ball. He's the leading scorer for the Mavericks, and he's in fact the leading scorer in the tournament with 7, all of them from penalty corners. Pretty amazing conversion rate for Nick Woods. He's been solid in the field as well.
Yeah, he's been a very key cog in the Mavericks machine. Yeah, so we're hoping often these third place playoffs can become a real festival. Teams are maybe a little less conservative, but a slightly less of a sense of something to lose. Just willing to have a bit more of a crack. So you sometimes see some real high-scoring hockey extravaganzas. So let's hope for the viewers at home and those that have made their way down to the ground today here in the sunny Waikato that is the case.
And you never know, we might get a goal early in this contest, but that's come off the foot there, and it's going to be an early opportunity for the Tridents.
Simon Taylor just not happy with the placement of the ball there, a little bit too far in front of where the infringement took place.
Edwards on the ball here. Simons going all the way back. They've lost 50 yards, but here comes Bennett. And now they switch to the other side through Xavier Guy. Kingston's lost it. Good challenge coming in from Sarakaya. And now or is it Capizzi? It's Capizzi, and that's going to be a free hit. In fact, yes, back of the stick is the call, and it's going to be Mavericks ball.
Yeah, Kim Kingston there running across to his reverse hand side and just didn't back himself on the to make the trap on the reverse side. Tried to get his forehand across, but that made it pretty awkward for him.
Taken quickly, and here comes the Mavericks into the circle. Simon Child looming on the left. Didn't get the ball, though, from McIntyre. Now Sarakaya. And scrambling to get that one, Shea Iswa, but it's out, and it's going to be a restart from the quarter for the Tridents.
Tough as well to catch up with that one. It was always going to be a big ask to receive that ball across the reverse. Mavericks looking to get pressure on here early, so hounding Matt Simons in the midfield. They've done well here at the Tridents. Good vision by Xavier Guy.
Now Ulrich. Houston on the ball, but he's right in the corner. Hard to get it out of there sometimes as McIntyre seeks the safety of the sideline. In fact, it must have taken a slight deflection off a Trident stick because it's Mavericks ball. So Nick Woods, the leading scorer in the tournament, 7. Leading scorer in the Tridents is Corey Bennett with 2, and he got them both yesterday. He's the only player that scored more than 1 goal for the Tridents in this tournament. He scored the fewest number of goals, just 7.
I think Sam Houston got 2 in one game the other day, didn't he?
I've just checked my notes again. You're spot on, mate. Yeah, you're spot on. Houston did get 2 in one game, so they're the equal top scorers, but they've only scored 7 goals. So getting the ball in the back of the goal has been an issue for them.
Yeah, one of the big problems they've had is their penalty corner conversion rate's been pretty poor. So the 2 flicks that Bennett got the other day, the first 2 they scored in the whole league. And if you want to be in the mix in a hockey tournament or a hockey league, you need to be doing a bit better than that off your penalty corners.
Absolutely. It's interesting when you're looking at the Mavericks on the other side of the equation. They've scored 13 goals. 8 of them have been from penalty corners. So they've only scored 4 goals from the field in this tournament, 2 linking with the other from a stroke.
Yeah, and that stroke came from a penalty corner too. So
yeah,
kind of chalk that up to a penalty corner as well. So, yep, it just goes to show that it's such an important part of the game, and something obviously the national selectors very aware of, and it always gives you just that much more of a chance at selection if you're a good penalty corner flicker. because you have to have at least 3 or 4 in a squad. So, there's been some, not necessarily for New Zealand, but across the board, there's been some pretty ordinary hockey players in international hockey in terms of ordinary, in terms of how good they are in the field, but are good flickers that get carried in teams because they need them for that particular part of the game.
Sure. Edwards. Simon Child giving up the free hit.
It's Tridents ball here. I was mentioning the other day, actually, that the introduction of the rule that you can't sub at a penalty corner, how that nowadays, that one of the ways that plays out is if a team's elected to sub the goalie off and play with 11 and field players, it hammers them, because a penalty corner without a goalkeeper is pretty tough to keep out. But the rule was actually originally brought in because when you could sub on a penalty corner, teams used to carry specialist flickers that
a designated flicker almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
who didn't even play the game because they weren't good enough. So it was a bit like American football.
Here's Lum racing into the circle. He's a great ball carrier. Richmond Lum, can he get it across the face of goal? Woods got his foot out of the way somehow. I don't know how he did it.
Did well there, Woods. It was right in front of Simon Taylor too. So despite the Tridents bench going up in unison thinking it was a penalty corner, I don't think it was.
Reece Gibbs on the ball here. It's not the greatest pass though, and easily intercepted out by Corey Bennett. Now Greentree.
It's a pretty good opportunity that for the Mavericks. Just needed a bit more of a lead from Malcolm Curley. He just got a bit stuck behind the defender.
Mortimer has lost it to Sarakaya. Now Jonty Keeney. And it's lost over the sideline by Curley. Now it is Guy and Bennett.
Yeah, there was a famous case of an English player who was a specialist flicker in the early days of drag flicking. I think his name was Cullen Giles or something like that. And he'd had this crazy statistic where he'd scored about 60 international goals, but he'd been on the pitch for less than 30 minutes of international hockey. He was literally pretty much a club level player as a field player, but he had this amazing flick.
Wow.
Yep, that's certainly not happening these days.
Bit like a kicker in the NFL.
Yes.
Yeah. Come on, kick a goal. See you later. Here's Punchia. Not kept in by Campbell McLean. It's a quiet start to this game. 3rd and 4th place playoff match. Guy tries to get some urgency, but that's come off Woods' stick.
Yeah, neither side with an opportunity to get on the score sheet yet.
Good tackle from Punchia, and it's picked up by Haid. Punchia dispossessed. Good tackle coming in from Liam Mortimer. Good hustle on the ball there. Edwards wins the free hit from Fraser. And now Guy takes it quickly. Muir. Suka is on the pitch. Now Greentree. Had a good game yesterday, Connor Greentree.
He's produced some pretty good moments, Connor Greentree, over this competition. Just got some good hands, good skill. Happy to get the ball in the air when he's dribbling it.
He's fast. He sweeps it into the circle, cut out by Woods. That's really well played from him. And Edwards almost getting the ball back to create another opportunity for the Tridents. Now Reece Gibbs on the break for the Mavericks. 3 players ahead of him. Keeney, Haid up there as well as Curley. But Woods, the general at the back, is calming things down. And there's a nice flat right-hand pass, but it's not going to find Jonty Keeney.
Yeah, again, I think I made the same comment about an Ollie McIntyre pass the other day where he's quite eager to throw that ball down the line when I know that it's in Jonty Keeney's interest to pick that up. He's got a man right on his back, on his reverse, running towards the sideline. It's not a little bit different if he's able to change the shape of his lead slightly and pick it up going forwards. But when you're running straight across like that, it's pretty much inevitable that it's going to sail over the sideline.
Very good ball from Muir there into Suka. Here's a chance into the circle. Left-handed save, play on's the call. It's going to be Mavericks ball.
Yeah, Simon Taylor's missed a foot there. I'm sure that was, I think it was actually a mistrap from George Muir. that went into the foot of the Mavericks player. I mean, I am a distance away without my glasses on, so it's possible that it wasn't, but
Here's McLean coming forward now, but no one there as it scooped past Cam Haid. And Muir picks up the loose ball.
Going back to Connor Greentree, and it's good to see there's a few becoming a bit more part and parcel at this level for attacking players to call 3D skills to dribble the ball off the deck. Certainly something that New Zealand players, as a general rule, lack quite a bit, especially compared to the European counterparts. They're much better at doing it. And it's one thing we're forever trying to work with our young players at developing, is that ability to flip the ball up off the deck, much harder to tackle.
Punchia now to his brother Jared. Daniel rather. Jared, of course, injured again today. Going to be more Mavericks possession. So sustained period down at this end of the field for the Mavericks. Daniel Punchia back to Aaron. Here comes Daniel into the 25, and Edwards has done really well there to lure an infringement out of the Mavericks player. So just under 4 to play. Very quiet first quarter so far continues between these two teams looking to win third place in this competition.
Yeah, again, the Mavericks, you just feel a little bit like they're a toothless tiger when they've got the ball. Just nothing really going on. The Tridents just holding the centre of the pitch, allowing them to have the outside, and Mavericks just sort of batter the ball around and just need to change things up a little bit. Need to get a good ball handler in and around the middle who can post up and be brave and receive with players on their back.
Child has got a clean steal there and a lovely flick pass to John T. Keeney. Iswa's the target in the centre, and it's come off that stick of Corey Bennett. Again, it didn't get in front of goal. Great little steal from Simon Child, though.
You question the decision from Keeney there. Like, I mean, maybe the crash ball was sort of on, but it did look like there were Tridents players back. From where he was, he just would have been better to carry it into the circle and just wait for an opportunity, or try and work get a more sort of constructive opportunity, or in a penalty corner. It's just too much of this crashing the ball in and hoping for the best from the Mavericks. I just think you've got to be better than that.
And if there's one thing the Mavericks have been doing better than any other team, it's converting penalty corners. With Woods, as I touched on, all 7 goals that he scored coming from penalty corners. Now Lala is back to salvage the situation here for the Tridents. Greentree goes long down to Capizzi, but again, he didn't get enough height on that one, so it's come off McLean. And Greentree again. Here he comes into the circle. Through Woods' legs. Here's Houston. Close to the goal now. It's deflected away off a stick, though. They needed a second wave behind that front line there, didn't they?
They didn't have enough players in the circle. Sort of have a couple of guys around the goal, but that was well blocked by the Mavericks. So the Houston threw the pass a little bit deeper, but there was no one there.
Wyndham Smith into Simon Child, who tries to cross it into Richard Joyce's path. Pushed away. Of course, is the other issue that all of these players have today. This is their 4th game in 5 days. I reckon they run over 6Ks, players in every game. There's a lot of running in the last 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, especially at the tempo it's at too.
Yes.
It's not like football where there's a lot of casual kilometres. It's the number of sprints they'd be performing in a game. Very, very high.
Capizzi to Simons. Houston the target of that pass. Inside that last minute now of this first quarter. Will there be a goal right at the death nail here of this first quarter? Free hit is conceded by the Tridents. Mavericks have got under 30 now to get it down there. Woods tries to flick the switch. Lovely touch from Simon Child to Sarakaya. Sarakaya back to Simon Child. Lovely little pass to Sarakaya. This is looking a little better. Peels in the penalty corner. Umpire over there was obscured, but there's the call from Simon Taylor.
So I wonder if Simon Taylor verbally said that.
I reckon
He
you're right.
didn't signal it. And it was clearly a foot. And what I liked about that attack, you saw a little bit earlier there, Aiden Sirakai had Max Wyndham-Smith on the outside calling for the ball, and he chose not to give it to him. And actually redirected the attack more central, gave it to Simon Child, then picked up the return pass to actually attack the heart of the defence, which just much more threatening to do that. And, you know, any other play probably in the first quarter from the Mavericks would have seen the ball probably go to the outside where it would have just been strangled by the Tridents. So good work by Sirakai. Looking to play with a bit more guts.
So here's the penalty corner. Now, Nick Woods, as I touched on, 7 goals. He's leading the scoring, and here he is, another penalty corner. It's crashed into the legs there of that lead runner, Kingston.
You know, he's got a good stick on that, Kim Kingston. Did well.
There's the crash ball, but Aaron Punchiers can't run out of time. So the Mavericks can't open the scoring with that penalty corner, and it's a goalless first quarter here in the third and fourth place playoff match.
Yeah, good strong run by King Kingston, number 1 runner. Fortunate thing, of course, for the Mavericks, because really all of their penalty corner might coming from Nick Woods. It's a reasonably sure bet that they're going to use him to flick. So Kim Kingston, it helps a little bit when you can just know the man you've got to run to and run hard at him. It's one of the things the Alpiners have a real advantage in. They've got 2 very good flickers, so it's always a little bit of a mystery which one they might use.
Well, let's just speculate here on the Black Sticks. You say a squad of, say, 25. How many specialist flickers do you reckon in a squad of that number Darren Smith will be looking for?
Oh, it depends a little bit, because, you know, you could get away with three guys that could flick. But ideally, you'd want, I would think, 4. But yeah, as I say, it depends a little bit. When you say specialist flicker, you know, they all have to be able to play.
Sure,
so,
absolutely.
There's a bit of a trade-off there. So it probably depends a little bit how many, when you've got guys like Kane Russell who are very good field players and your number 1 flicker. So, you know, a guy like that selects himself, and you've got obviously Nick Woods, a good flicker, and an outstanding field player. So you've got a couple that you know you've already got 2 flickers without even having to think too hard.
Well, Corey Bennett's another one, isn't he?
Yeah, Corey Bennett's a good flicker.
Sam Lane.
Yep, Sam Lane.
I think
as well.
Sam Lane scored a couple of penalty corners in this tournament as well.
Yeah, so you start to kind of get to the stage where you've actually got pretty good stocks, and then it's the case you do need, so those guys that are fighting, you know, after you've got the likes of, you know, Woods and Lane and Kane Russell, and then Corey Bennett, and then you've got Dane Laird who can flick a bit as well. So there's, you know, a bit of a queue of flickers in there,
which is good for New Zealand going into Tokyo next year. So 0-0 at quarter time, and Simon Child looks to flip the switch straight away. But he had half a dozen Tridents players to beat there, but he still managed to get a stick in there. Now the Mavericks are on attack. And
really
Fraser.
Uncanny ability to do that, Simon Child, to sort of just be straight in front of someone swinging them at the ball and somehow getting a stick on it.
Yeah, 6 cents.
It's not normally a characteristic of a hockey player to be able to charge the ball down like it might be in rugby, but he does it pretty well.
Sarakai to take this free hit. Punchier brothers back out there now for the Mavericks. McIntyre. Child tries to deflect it into the path of Cam Haid. Didn't quite get there. His brother might have stolen it, actually. Of course, we've got brothers on opposite teams here. And Cam's standing like 2 meters from his brother right now.
Yep. It's, you know, pretty much the same thing that'll be happening at the Christmas dinner table, but on the hockey field at the moment.
Here's Muir. Good to see him shrug off that hammy problem that he had. George Muir, and he's made a nuisance of himself there for the Mavericks. Long corner is to the Tridents. So over it goes to Ulrich, who's controlled that pretty well. Into the circle. This could fall for Lum. Reverse stick shot. He missed it, but no goal and turnover.
Yeah, there. Simon Taylor just ruling against Lum there. If you swing and miss like that with players around, it's always going to be a penalty.
Here's Cam Haid at the other end of the field now. Shea Iswar up there. Played it off the foot, and now Sarakaya into the circle. There's the cross. Thudded into Joyce, and it's gone out off a Mavericks player.
Except if Jeff Fitzwalder's umpiring, actually, one of our St Paul's umpires, he doesn't play that rule. If you miss the ball when you swing.
Counts as a shot, doesn't it?
Tried to educate him, but
yeah,
sees it a different way. In Europe, they're very strict on it. In New Zealand, it tends to only be in the circle if it happens. They blow against you. But in Europe, anywhere in the pitch, if you swing at the ball and don't hit it, they blow against you. Good skill.
It's Child. Oh, and palmed away by Joyce again. Oh, and it's gone under Marcus Child's stick. But Fraser picks it up, and then he's confused the ball boy for a player.
He's just given the ball to the ball boy there. And you could understand that a little bit. They are wearing a quite similar colour to the Mavericks. Ball boy kindly obliging there, just rolling another ball back onto the sideline for the Tridents to take the restart.
Good shot, though, from Child.
It was good. He's looked lively, Simon Child. I think, he's the one guy out there at the moment that's, for the Mavericks, it's just providing something a little bit different. The post up earlier, which he tried to deflect, and it didn't quite come off, but at least it looks like something. And there, a great elimination and getting a shot on goal.
Well, Simon
It's good to see him starting to get back to some good form. Such a strong player for the Black Sticks over the years, and had that really quite bad hip injury for a number of, kept him out of hockey for quite a few years. Yeah, it's great to see him back in.
He's one of our legends, really, isn't he? I mean, he's scored the second most number of goals in history for the Black Sticks, and he's in the top 10 for number of games played as well. And he debuted as a very young player.
He's either 16 or 17 or something when he debuted.
He's been playing international hockey since 2005. Here's Muir. Almost stealing that one, Matt Rees-Gibbs.
Mavericks just stepping the tempo up a little bit here, trying to take a bit more of an interest in this match.
Rich. Kingston plays it all the way back to Haid, and now gets it back again. So just on 10 minutes to go until half-time. Now the switch, and Guy's got to bring this one under control, which he's done pretty well. Xavier Guy. And he's earned a long corner off Nick Woods. Muir. Well defended by Marcus Child that time. And now McLean's had it wrestled away, but it will still be Mavericks ball. And Aaron Punch out.
Strong bit of communication from George Muir there, organising his team's defence. It's one of the things that certainly has helped the Tridents, is getting more of these experienced national players back in their lineup. Not only their ability on the ball, but it's all those little things that they do really well, help organising the players around them.
Good tackle from Edwards. Now Lum on it. And hounded by Woods right in the corner of the circle. That might fall for Muir. He's picked it up now, George Muir. Into the circle. That's Mortimer. Lost his stick, and it's kicked away by Hayward rather. It could have materialised to something meaningful for the Tridents. Muir, good turn, but good tackle from Woods. That was world class.
That was a good tackle. He's done some good stuff out there, George Muir. Just a good little bit of vision while he's on the ball. A playmaker trying to weave some magic.
Woods Neild leaves it for Rees-Gibbs. Good decision from Tim Neild. And now McIntyre back to Aaron Puncher. Well controlled by Bennett. And now Edwards. A nice little pass out to Lum. He's a real live wire, Richmond Lum, isn't he?
Yeah, he
is. It's been enjoyable to watch these last few weeks.
Stray pass from Lala there.
Taken quickly by Cam Haid, and now Keeney, his brother from another mother. And Haid can't get it. It's back to Nitesh Shuko, who's coming from the deep left-hand defensive position. Guy gives Holbrook one to chase. Needed to get on a travelator, get that one. And now Woods for the Mavericks.
Steve Edwards is going to eat that up.
Almost played it onto his foot. Bennett. Oh, the Guy.
Loose from Bennett.
Yeah, a couple of loose passes.
Good recovery from Xavier Guy there.
That's good skills from Greentree. Now Lum. Richmond Lum. Got a couple of players there. He sneaks through, and that's come off Woods' stick, says Simon Taylor. So it will be again a long corner. Guy. Lala.
Pushing the wing halves up here, the Tridents. So you can see Lala and Bennett, the two fullbacks, really wide apart. Sanjay Lala on the far side of the pitch, very far forward.
Good hustle from Cam Haid there. Free hit goes to the Tridents, and Edwards is flicking it over to Bennett.
Xavier Guy really trying to give
Greentree.
Simon Taylor an earful through his mouth guard there. Wanting the free hit to be blown a little bit earlier.
Sukar couldn't get that one, so again another turnover. So 6:24 to go. Don't forget at 2 o'clock this afternoon we'll have the grand final between the Falcons and the Alpiners. It's beautifully set up, that game. And the Falcons won the first game between the two and the Alpiners the second, and here is an opportunity for the Tridents into the circle.
Great tackle, Daniel Finch.
Was it? What? Perfectly timed stick there on Steve Edwards.
Yeah, there was yesterday's match was worthy of a final between the Alpiners and the Falcons. Sort of a 5-goal thriller. Opportunities coming right at the end of the match, and hopefully we'll be treated to a similar spectacle today.
Well,
with
even
a
the
bit
first
more
game,
on the game.
Even the first game between the two was a beauty, with it locked up at 1-1 until the very last seconds when the Falcons scored.
Great recovery from Oliver Logan.
That was a great one from McIntyre.
So lost his footing as he made the tackle. It sort of almost looked like a breakdancing move.
And more turnover. It's been a quiet game so far, hasn't it? I don't think we've had really any or many shots on goal at all. Just the one penalty corner.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't really, the best probably chance was Simon Childs, or the penalty corner and Simon Childs' shot from the top of the circle earlier.
Kingston to inbound it for the Tridents. Guy sweeps it across to Corey Bennett. And then he's delivered a good pass down to Suka, right at the corner. Suka's cross is out, but it's going to be Trident's ball.
Okay, and you see the willingness of the Tridents to promote their wing halves. So Sanjay Lala a long way down the field there, picking that ball up. Just asking a few questions of the Mavericks. It's always a tough one. You can see here Cam Haid dropping back with Sanjay Lala, Cam Haid, the right striker of the Mavericks.
Oh, that's a great little ball, and that was Houston going close. Well defended by the Mavericks, though.
Similar situation to the other day where Houston squeezed one past George Ennison, I think, from that position, but Leon Haywood having none of that. Coming out smothering well.
Reece Gibbs, good turn. McLean. Nicely controlled by Iswar. Iswar cuts back in, but the free hit's been awarded. So back they come. Our cameraman down there, Nigel, is doing a great job, isn't he? Been doing it for 20 years, Nigel. He's not reacting, he's concentrating like all good cameramen should do, eh, Murdoch? Here's Aaron Puncher. Daniel now on the right. There's the ball, but it's deflected away by Connor Greentree, and a lovely little sweet pass from Richmond Lum. And here goes Greentree.
That's just interesting, isn't it? You see the Tridents trying to counter, but no numbers. They have to pass it backwards. And that's one aspect that both the Alpiners and the Falcons are incredibly good at, and we'll see that this afternoon, that turning those opportunities into something a little bit more dangerous just by getting numbers forward quickly and trying to ensure they don't have to turn around and go backwards.
Nitesh Suka with 2 players on him. Yes, he's done well to get through both of them. And McIntyre reached in to make the tackle, but he's missed it. And did that come off a foot? It is. Yes, good play from Nitesh Suka. Excellent play, number 5, the 21-year-old from North Harbour. And he's earned his team his first penalty corner.
Yeah, good skill by Suka. And off that sideline. McIntyre was pretty quick to try to indicate that it hit his hand and not his foot. Not sure. Hard to tell on that replay.
Well, Simon Taylor was having none of it.
So, Corey Bennett.
Step on up.
In the lineup here.
Yes, the Tridents, until yesterday's game, had not scored a goal from a penalty corner in the tournament. And then Bennett banged in 2 yesterday in this corresponding match.
Get it past Leon Hayward today.
Let's have a look and see if they can execute this. It's going to be Bennett. Oh, Bennett, I think Hayward got a stick on that and deflected it high. It could have well been on target, that one.
That was a great save. That was a first-class goalkeeping save by Leon Hayward. A good flick by Bennett. Had some heat on it. Get a good view of it here. He's ripped this, and Leon Hayward, nice high stick, and a great get by
That's
Leon
gone
Hayward.
over the keeper's head for 6, Lincoln.
Yeah, I mean, that was that sort of adventurous shot the batsman might play to get some runs when late in the game when they've got no one back behind the keeper.
There's been some good goalkeeping here, hasn't there, in this tournament? Hayward.
That was probably as good as a stop as we've seen during this week. That was a fantastic get. Good technique by Hayward. It sticks up nice and high as the shot's coming in, so it's already there and poised. Very nice and still head.
Well, all 4 of the established keepers, as Mortimer and Punchia have a little duel. All 4 of the established keepers in all 4 teams have been going pretty well, Lincoln. We're talking Dom Dixon, Leon Hayward, George Anderson and Richard Joyce.
Yeah, it's a good problem for the selectors to have, is, you know, having all of them put their hands up.
Now we might see Richard Joyce called on into action here as Simon Child tries to create Sarakaya.
Sarakai just had to put the brakes on because he realised he was running into the circle, and because it was a free hit inside the 25, the ball couldn't be played by Simon Child directly into the D, so he tried to put the brakes on just to keep himself outside, but his momentum was already a little too much.
Good work there from Rhys Gibbs.
Yeah, up periscope, Matt Rhys Gibbs.
That's Keeney. And now there's an opportunity for Neild. And Rhys Gibbs, who made the stop in the first place, has scored a goal. How apt is that? That is brilliant work from Rhys Gibbs. That was some slick tricks with a stick.
Yeah, it was good hockey. A really good stop on the overhead to set the play up. And then just the commitment to support Tim Neild. So he's given the pass to him. So Rhys Gibbs started on the left-hand side on the pitch, and he's just used those South African wheels of his to just hoon across and get outside Tim Neild and create the overload. And Tim Neild did a really good job. He just held the ball and made that pass. The timing was critical. If it had been too early, Kim Kingston would have got on to Rhys Gibbs and put a lot of pressure or even stopped him shooting. But he held the ball long enough that Kingston had to stay in the centre.
Well, that has come just before half-time as well. So an excellent time to score Rhys Gibbs' second goal of the tournament. And it is 1-0 to the Mavericks through that last-minute goal to Matt Rhys Gibbs.
Yeah, the other one was a belter too. Good to see someone hitting the ball nicely off their forehand. A bit of a lost art, the game of hockey these days.
So 1-0 to the Hauraki Mavericks. We'll be back in just a moment.
A new home is one of life's great adventures. Sentinel will help you enjoy the journey. Sentinel Homes. Design, build, enjoy.
Introducing the new Ford Escape ST Line X. Packed with the latest features so you can get moving, do more and go further. Now available with the Ford Assured Future Value Finance offer. Simply pick your payment plan and at the end of the term choose if you want to keep your Ford Escape, return your Ford Escape or upgrade to a new Ford. Easy. Ford. Bring on tomorrow.
So, Egypt, exciting.
It's been my lifelong dream to see the sunrise over the pyramids. Oh, it's silly, really.
Not at all. The room, it must be 502.
More than ever, we need our parents to be more supportive
so we can go out there and have some fun.
We're on a mission to find some of our most famous sport parents.
To give our parents some helpful advice.
So do you think you'll be able to help us out?
Absolutely. When I played sport, it was all about having fun.
Talk about the effort they win and not about the fact that they won the game.
Try and encourage our kids to get involved in as many sports as possible.
We want to build kind, strong, resilient athletes.
They see and watch your behaviour all the time. They see everything.
You know, don't pressurise them and trying to make them improve too quickly.
Kids coming in with a lot of overtraining injuries.
They're not supposed to know how to have the winning mindset at the age of 12.
If they come off that field or come off that court with a smile on their face, then I'm a happy man.
We came up with 10 golden rules
for being an awesome sport parent.
To check them out, go to besportive.kiwi.
Half-time here in this third and fourth place playoff match here at the Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League. Score is 1-0 to the Mavericks, with that goal coming just before half-time to Matt Reese-Gibbs, who's played 10 games for the Black Sticks. Shots on goal, not many, only 7 in the contest, penalty corner each, and circle entries have been adequate from both teams. You'd probably say 16-12 in the Tridents' favour, although both teams really struggling to get meaningful opportunities from their circle entries in this contest so far. That Matt Reese-Gibbs goal was a beauty. It happened just before half-time. He got the periscope up, made a stop, and then he moved to the right, got the ball and banged home that cracking goal. And it was a terrific finish from Reese-Gibbs. You can see him, number 7, tearing across to the right-hand side where the space is. And then he got the clean shot away, which Richard Joyce, the Tridents keeper, couldn't keep out. And that's where we are in this game. The Mavericks, remember, going for their third straight win over the Tridents in this competition. Let's go down to Lincoln Churchill and get some halftime reaction now.
Well, Dean Cousins, a quiet first quarter, but a deserved lead on the performance in the second.
I'd probably go no. I think we weren't great. I think that they're causing a few problems for us with how they're setting up their back four. So we've tried to make a few adjustments there to hopefully make that a bit easier for ourselves. And I think that they've caused us a few problems. And I'm pleased that we've hung in there. And snuck a goal.
Yeah, it was some save by Leon Hayward.
It was, yeah. I mean, he's New Zealand's best keeper at the moment, and I expect some saves like that from him, but it was certainly top draw.
All the best for the second half.
Yeah, that cracking stop, of course, to Leon Hayward. You forget the stops that the keepers make, don't you? You tend to concentrate on the goals that are scored, but that stop from Leon Hayward was a really good one. Leon Hayward, of course, just played the 7 games, only debuted for New Zealand last year, but, of course, is Darwin-born and did play 13 games for Australia between 2013 and 2014, but has since changed allegiances to New Zealand and qualifies because his mum, Ellie, is a Kiwi. So a really good stop, of course, from Hayward, which deflected the stick, the attempted penalty corner over the bar. Let's go back to Lincoln now. As you can see, Bryce Collins, the Tridents coach, is in position.
Well, Bryce, enough in that first half to certainly give you an interest.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we were really disciplined to task, moved the ball around really well. Felt we overplayed our hand with the high ball a little bit, so the message to the guys was to keep it on the deck and use the high ball as an element of surprise.
Yeah, so obviously you've delivered a lengthy team talk there, so is that full of some excitement for us in this last half of hockey for the Tridents?
Oh, no rocket science. It's just reminders, doing our job defensively, tracking back, managing the counter attack, which they've got some big guns that are a threat. So managing the key players and then doing well with our share of the ball.
Oh, we're looking forward to an exciting second half.
There we are, Bryce Collins. So the Tridents, remember, have not won a game. Boy, they would love to win a game. This is their 7th game of the Sentinel Homes Premier League. No wins, 1 draw, 5 losses. They have, heading into this match, the Mavericks, of course, have won 3 games, have beaten the Tridents twice, and they beat the Falcons on Wednesday night. In fact, that was Thursday night now, wasn't it? The Falcons? Yes, that came. So plenty to play for these players, not only the glory of finishing in 3rd place on what's a beautiful and very pleasant Saturday afternoon, or Sunday afternoon now. And don't forget, at 2 o'clock, we've got the grand final between the Falcons and the Alpiners. This is the 3rd meeting between these two. They've both split the games. The 2 games that they've had, Falcons winning the first 2-1, and the Alpiners winning the second 3-2. So that should be a really good contest at 2 o'clock, that game. As we're all set now for the second half, we're just waiting for these last 30 seconds of the half-time to elapse before we get going again. Interesting call by Dean Cousins to claim that Leon Hayward's the best keeper in New Zealand at the moment.
Yep. I mean, I suppose in the last times the Black Six have been playing, he has been the number 1, hasn't he? He's been the one that's played the most. So I suppose the somewhat substantiated those claims.
So here come the Tridents as they begin the second half, and straight onto the attack goes the lofted ball, and Panchia, he needed to just hurry a little bit.
He let it bounce. Just sort of.
Wow, it was Sam Houston.
Ideal world you get onto those on the full, but
it was Sam Houston. He must have had slippers on, Sam Houston, because Panchia seemingly was aware that he was there. There's Aaron Panchia. I highly suspect he knew he was there, though.
Yeah.
The Panchia's no mug on the hockey pitch, that is for sure. Now, a few infringements to start the second half. Simon Child.
Pass.
That was a cracker, wasn't it? Such an exciting player. And now that's a good pass to Houston from Bennett. Plenty of Mavericks players back in support, though. Capizzi might be wise to just hold this up. And that was Woods with a clean stop for the Mavericks.
It'd be interesting to see what the Mavericks, what their solves are this half. So you heard Dean Cousins talk about them struggling with the shape the Tridents had with their back group. Talked about that in the first half, just those wing halves pushing up the line, particularly Sanjay Lala on the left-hand side of the field, getting really high into slightly unusual positions. The Mavericks just struggling to deal with it a little bit in the first half, so we'll see what their coaching staff is. Well, between the coaching staff and the senior players these days often will make quite a contribution to what they think should happen.
Marcus Child on the ball now. Mavericks just happy to knock it around at the back. And as Woods now changes tack. Haid tries to sneak around a couple of players, but Lala just did enough to disrupt, and that's good tackle. Flat stick tackle from Marcus Child. Oh, that needed to be well made by Lala in the end. The penalty corner is conceded.
Yeah, it was what on
Nice
Marcus
play.
Child. He got back in there quickly and was able to tip the ball onto Lala's foot.
Like this last little pass. This is this goal in the first half again from Rhys Gibbs. Really enjoyable goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's just technique A1. Not an easy thing to do, to hit the ball on the run like that.
Highlight of the game so far. Worth looking at again.
Yeah, no, it was outstanding finish.
And now
from the St Paul's Collegiate P staff member.
Got to give them a plug, don't you?
Well, you've got to spend a lot of time with that man.
Okay, now
during the week,
all the Mavericks double their lead here. Woods. Oh, it's gone in! Yes, it's deflected in off Xavier Guy. And another goal from a penalty corner for Nick Woods. He has 8 goals in the tournament, all from penalty corners.
He does. And I wonder if Xavier Guy, I bet you this morning, when he put the Weet-Bix on the plate, he thought, shall I have 3 or 4 pieces today? And he should have chosen 4. Because he just hasn't got enough of a stick. He's hit right in the middle of the stick, but just, unfortunately for him, this wasn't holding it hard enough.
Oh, jeepers. Backspin is sometimes a really useful thing, but it wasn't on that occasion. Agonisingly, slowly dribbling over the line, wasn't it?
Simon Childs had a little bit of a naughty dig there.
And he's green carded.
Does have that, can be good at stealing the ball, Simon Child, but sometimes can be a little bit guilty of overreaching. In that case, certainly the green card warranted there, just a little bit too much of a foul.
So the Mavericks playing with 10 for the next 2 minutes. Kingston plays it forward. That's all Rich over there. And now it's Houston. Good tackle there. That is Campbell McLean.
Yeah, he's
good young player.
He's done that pretty well. Really grown into this tournament, Campbell McLean, and he's defended outstandingly well. Of course, he learnt his trade on the streets of Taupo. Well, on the hockey turf in Taupo.
This is another factor of this tournament which we should touch on, Lincoln, has been a very useful exercise, hasn't it, for a lot of these under-21 New Zealand representatives that have been drafted into these teams. It's been really good experience for them.
It has been. It has to be said, it's been a little bit of a baptism of fire for some of these younger players because, you know, past 20 years they would have been used to making their way into a national league setup, which was 8 franchises across the country. So obviously the talent, I guess you'd say, was 50% diluted on what it is here. So the level's just that much higher. Every team you're coming up against has got, for the most part, half a dozen plus. On some teams' cases, they've got 10 established black sticks. So,
well, it's been a really useful exercise for a lot of young players who would have really relished the chances playing with players like Steve Edwards, for example, who is on the ball now. Capizzi seeking the safety of Sanjay Lala, now Corey Bennett. Well, the Tridents have got to pull the trigger at some point. They're 2-0 down. And Xavier Guy keeps the pressure on at the right end of the field for the Tridents. Kingston. Now Guy will sweep it into the circle, and that's straight into the stick there of Panchia. How he got his feet out of the way, I do not know.
He's facing the wrong way.
It
quite remarkable.
Looked like for all money it came off his leg. Here come the Tridents once more, and it's Houston being hassled on the ball.
Yeah, they're shifting the ball well here, the Tridents. They've got that extra man advantage, or has it been restored now? Maybe it's Simon Child back on the pitch.
He is. He's back out there now.
He's back out there now, so they're trying to make the most of that period with an extra player. Just keep the ball moving, keep the Mavericks defence running.
Well, actually, Child's not on, but they're back to 11, the Mavericks. Bennett has intercepted that one.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky to find themselves 2 goals down in this game, the Tridents. They've certainly been better than that in this game. And they had that, of course, that penalty corner save from Leon Hayward was absolutely top class. Very easily could have been 1-0 Tridents.
Guy near the edge, circle's edge.
Yeah, I was about to say he's looking a bit lucky to get away without a penalty corner there with you. I don't suspect, well, the first occasion he hadn't retreated the 5, and that was blown as a free hit. Aaron Punchy is keen to protest here.
But of course, protests never change referees or umpires' minds in any sport.
No, it's tough when you don't have a review. Even with a review, I don't think Punchy would have. It'd just be a bit of a waste, because often if you're arguing over whether he was 4.5 or 5 metres back, it's always going to be a little bit up to interpretation. So not the type of decision a player would be encouraged to use a review on, because in international hockey you only have one. If you lose it, then you don't have it later on when you might need it.
Here's Bennett, used as a fake this time. Stroke is awarded. That was a good alternative option from the Tridents there.
Yeah, Charles Ulrich. I was just about to
really
say,
nice.
I don't think this is going to him, but it did. And he's proved me wrong, because he's whipped it in. Little switch, so you can see that just put the runners off, because they were going to run, of course, to Corey Bennett.
So stroke awarded, and it's going to be Xavier Guy to take it against Leon Hayward. Tridents don't, although yes, they have one penalty stroke in the competition so far. And now Guy against Hayward.
Oh,
He's
that was
wide at it. Oh dear.
That was about as bad a penalty stroke as you'll ever see. That was horrible.
Well, Greentree was on the field. He took the last penalty stroke.
Yeah, well, in actual fact, you don't even need to be on the field. As long as you're in the playing squad, you can actually sub on to take one. So you can use any player. And, oh, gee, that's going to hurt you for the Tridents. They've had one outstanding piece of goalkeeper from Leon Hayward to save the penalty corner, and now a missed stroke.
Well, it hasn't been a great couple of minutes for Xavier Guy, has it? Remember that ball dribbled over his stick at the other end of the field to give the Mavericks the second goal, and now Guy's missed the penalty stroke.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite an achievement to miss the goal from a penalty stroke. I mean, quite an achievement in a negative sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes it hits the post, you sort of forgive that a little bit, like there's not much margin in error, but when you completely miss the cage altogether.
That was Holbrook trying to get it, and he's got it back again. Isaac Holbrook tries to sweep into the path of the teammate. There's a reverse stick shot, and it's gone in. Excellent finish, Steve Edwards. Well, the class of Steve Edwards on display there, and the Tridents are on the board.
Yeah, well, that was just Steve Edwards' fast hands. If he was a gunslinger in the West, you just see how quickly he drops the stick and gets the shot away, and it's the speed of the shot that catches Leon Hayward out. As you see here, it comes, and Edwards he's not really expecting it, and then bang, suddenly it's fired in.
2-1.
Great finish by Edwards. This goes to show it doesn't need to be hit at 1,000,000 miles an hour to be a goal. Speed of release is also a very, very important aspect of strikers' arsenal.
6:50 to go now in this third quarter. Suka.
Is Arsenal a word? Or
Arsenal.
Arsenal. I thought it might have been Arsenal, but I don't like saying the word Arsenal.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah. Sort of trying to avoid saying that one.
Now,
Don't want to
Fraser.
Don't want to support them.
Fair enough. Fraser. Almost running to back where he got the ball in the first place. Well, he's looking for some positive movement from his teammates. Didn't get any. Daniel Punchia loses the ball, does Matt Rees-Gibbs. Edwards, the goal scorer, gives up the free hit.
A little bit of a change in role for Rees-Gibbs. He spent the first part of the competition as a striker for the Mavericks and just coming back into the midfield and doing pretty well, making a pretty good fist of it for the Mavericks.
Now Lum has it, but he's probably going to have to hold it. Oh, he tried to take them on. Love the confidence of the young fella. Gives it a crack. Suka. Haid across to Bennett. Ulrich down there as well as George Muir. And Muir tried to find Haid, but they couldn't link up on that occasion. Marcus Child.
Yeah, well played, Marcus Child. Good strong post up.
Yeah, nice composed play. Cam Haid. All this space in between the defenders there. There's Haid. Oh dear. And Suka has copped one in the nose there.
That's the last thing you want just coming into the Christmas break.
Occupational hazard.
There's a hockey stick in the face. Like, no one's asking Santa for one of those. And it looks like he's actually not too bad. Maybe it was a glancing blow, but yeah, he's...
he looks okay.
Oh dear, he was brave and did what he needed to do to stop the shot. Good promising attack from the Mavericks.
Wasn't it?
Good recovery from Suka to deny the goal score opportunity, and Punchy's got to be careful here.
Oh, Lum's got it. Good steal from Richmond Lum. Plenty of pace. Lum almost going a little bit too far. He did probably.
Punchy just pulled out of that. It's a natural thing to do is to put your hand out to sort of brace yourself, but of course you put your hand on the player, you ask for trouble.
Simon Child to Marcus Child, now to Rees-Gibbs, tries to get it over to Wyndham Smith, can't get there. And Holbrook has it. Marcus Child senses an opportunity, and he has one. Into the circle comes Marcus Child. And it's defended by Greentree, who wrapped it very quickly.
There's a couple of quite good steals from Marcus Child in that exact same area in the last 5 minutes.
Ulrich. Going to leave this for Mitch Haid.
Yeah, Mitchell Haid, hasn't done too badly. Spent most of his hockey career as a midfielder.
Lum wins a free hit. Here he goes again, Richmond Lum. And unfortunately, just bounced up and got Isaac Holbrook on the leg.
Just getting outside the other's way there a little bit, the Tridents.
Woods sweeps a beautiful pass. And now Wyndham Smith. Gathered by Haid, and the Mavericks can't believe they didn't get a free hit there.
To wonder whether Simon Taylor left his glasses behind today. He's quite a few times in this game. You've had a lot of players appealing for stuff and that he hasn't noticed. I'd give him the allowance of the sun if there was one. But at this time of the day, it's overhead, so it's not really... It has been a factor on the evening games for the umpire at that end. It's very tough to see much.
Houston and Ulrich. And she is defending that well. And now Simon Child But again, there's half a dozen Tridents players back. And Iswa tried to milk a free hit, didn't get one. And now here comes Edwards over to Greentree. Mavericks back in numbers 2. And a late call coming in there. Free hit for the Tridents.
And I think the signal came from Simon Taylor at this end, actually. And
Bennett deflected it away by Iswa.
Moans from the Mavericks players.
Nice little scoop. And Marcus Childs got it.
Great
Feeds it to
counter-attack.
Wyndham Smith. But back there in numbers, aren't they? Xavier Guy.
Yeah, did well. Timely tackle by Xavier Guy. He'd be feeling a little bit, running around a little bit heavy in the shoes after
missing that penalty
stroke. But did well there. Get back to recover. Oh, it's a nasty one for Fraser. That's got him. We talked about what you don't want for Christmas. That's another thing you don't want.
Lala over to Ulrich. Just a minute to go in this third quarter. Yeah, Capizzi.
Reaching for the frozen peas.
Yes. Now, Bennett. Retreating Trident's team at the moment. Sanjay Lala.
So Trident's putting the squeeze on here, and it's Xavier Guys. Send it over, but just Woods couldn't connect with Keeney with the pass. It was on for young and old for the Mavericks there.
That's a good pass from Connor Greentree. Now to Ulrich. Capizzi. 27 seconds left in this third quarter.
Starting to open up a little bit here, this game, and it's too high. It's too high.
Houston
played it into the body, but it was nearly at hip height, so was always going to go against him.
Woods, what a great piece of vision.
Here we
and
go.
there's Keeney in the centre. Joyce has got it. What a wonderful piece of skill from Nick Woods to fire it down to a teammate. What a great pass in the end of the third quarter. It didn't materialise in a goal, but it's been an entertaining quarter, this one.
Yeah, I think in that situation, it was running out of time. I think Curley probably just had to instinctively hit it across. Because he hesitated a bit, it gave Richard Joyce a long time to kind of sense the danger and just come off his line and cut it out pretty easily.
So 2-1 is the score. Goals in that quarter to Nick Woods from a penalty corner and Steve Edwards for the Tridents. There's the score at 2-1.
Yeah, well poised this game. Just it really did start to open up a little bit in those last few minutes. So see which side can take control. Both looked pretty threatening on their penalty corners today. So we see this one from the Mavericks.
Keep your eye there on Xavier Guy, and it's just dribbled off the thick outside edge into the goal, didn't it?
One end to the other, isn't it, for Xavier? I mean, not easy to give him a little bit of a break here. It's not easy on the line. It's coming with some speed, and he got to stick to it. So we see the goal here from Stephen Edwards.
Great reactions and created space for himself beautifully there, Edwards.
Yeah, he's just very good dealing in these scrappy situations, Steve Edwards. Just not an easy ball to control to begin with, and to get a shot on goal from that position is a pretty good effort. You can see him here. He's just holding, picks up the ball there, which was difficult to do, and then just turn and bang. Fantastic finish. As I said, very fast hands, Stephen Edwards. He would have acquitted himself very well.
So
As a Cowboy.
Time. Yes.
Very quick on the draw. I certainly wouldn't take him on.
No.
It'd be...
Well, 15 minutes to go in this match. Tridents trailing 2-1. Don't forget, at 2 o'clock we have the grand final today between the Falcons and the Alpiners. Hope you can join us then. Will be the last match of 28 that we've had over the Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League for 2020. And will the Falcons do the double? Just the women's team.
New tactic here from Bryce Collins, trying to start the match with 12 players on the pitch. And either that or Xavier Guy didn't maybe pick up the communication that he wasn't starting the fourth quarter and was made to trundle off the field.
Woods with the free hit. Punchia. This is McIntyre. Keep easy on him. Punchia. Woods, nice control. McIntyre, good steal. That's Mortimer. Lum. Good tackle from Simon Child, though, and he avoided that one. Got his foot out of the road just in time as Sarakaya now on the break. Gives a great ball to Cam Haid. Haid into the circle. Sweeps it across, almost there, but it's been lifted. And it's Tridents
did well
ball.
there, Haid.
Good ball.
That's why I did well too, to get a touch on that, and I wasn't happy with it. Thought it was a tiny bit high. A good stop anyway from Joyce, who did well to clamp his pads together.
Well, it was on target, that shot. So it was a good piece of play from the Mavericks. Joyce did well at the near post as Fraser gives it to Child. Fraser.
Good to see Fraser back out there. That nasty blow he took earlier.
And Suka as well, who got that stick in the face, is out there again. Now he's hooked that straight out on the full.
It's a rule I'd introduce, not because it really makes a difference in hockey, but just because it's cool to say, take it back to where it was flicked.
Here's Simon Child, can't link up with his brother that time. Oh, but Edwards played it into Suka's foot. Now Simon Child, oh, good tackle. Good tackle from Kingston. Kingston tearing upfield, but McIntyre anticipated that superbly.
It's the error rate starting to creep in here from both teams. Urich doesn't really have an option here.
Suka to settle it down for the Tridents. Now Kingston. I think that went out, and it did, but it's been ruled to come off Simon Child's stick, so it will be Tridents' ball. Bennett.
It's a very busy player, Kim Kingston. He's always up to something.
Here's Muir. Good tackle from Fraser.
Sometimes wonder whether he occasionally could do with just looking a little bit calmer.
Suka. George Muir, good skills. But he was surrounded by 4 Tridents players. Hard task getting through 4. As Simon Child creates space. Leaves a lovely little touch to Sarakaya. Cam Haid was racing up the middle.
Just really good skill from Simon Child on the start of that piece of play there. Just very well, just using his skill really nicely to turn what was a potential turnover situation into a break.
Nick Woods over to Aaron Punchy, who's going to thunder it into the pads of Richard Joyce, or maybe the glove.
It
looked high.
Did look a little bit high. It was sort of probably higher than the one that got called earlier, but I mean, it may have, if it had touched a stick and gone in, he may have decided to blow it. He might have let it play on because of the fact that the Tridents recovered the ball, or somewhat recovered the ball.
Marcus Child having one of his better games in this contest. Good tackle there.
He's featured well today, Child. He's, both the Childs have featured well, but yeah, Marcus has made a couple of good steals. Earned a penalty corner with one of those, which Nick Woods scored off.
Woods over to Aaron Punchia. Liam Mortimer coming in there to apply some pressure. Max Wyndham Smith frees up Rhys Gibbs. Remember, Rhys Gibbs got the first goal.
Yeah, Nick Woods looking good for the know what they call it, the golden stick.
MVP. We'll
Not
see.
sure what that prize is. Maybe it's a house and bill package from Sentinel Homes. That'd
Free
be
home.
quite good, wouldn't it? Yeah, free house.
Yeah.
Could do with that. Just you come up with a section and we'll build you a house for the most goals.
Here's Greentree. No change to that three-quarter score.
Great pass, Connor Greentree.
Beautiful. Oh, Lum usually has great stick work, and he knows he's blown an opportunity to create something
Not
there.
a great trap.
Ah, that was a shame. Richmond Lum. Woods. This plays right into the Mavericks' hands. You can just cool it off a little bit. Kneeled. Sarakaya.
I'd be keen to just put this game to bed here, the Mavericks. 2-1 as Tridents are looking.
Here's Simon Child on the edge of the circle, front on as
Too
well.
dangerous to be holding a 2-1 lead.
Ooh, he
good
really
finish.
gave it a good thump, didn't he?
Good hit, a goal. Well done by Richard Joyce. He can pull the trigger quite fast, Simon Child.
Can't
Like he did pretty well here. You can see, didn't look like he had, and he's just in here and bang.
Here's it stolen at the other end of the field. Here's Kneeled into the circle again. The reverse stick shot saved by Joyce. And
Richard Joyce kept pretty busy here at the moment.
yeah, isn't he? We'll have a look at that again. These threats are coming from the Mavericks at the moment. Neil just couldn't quite get that one on target. And that's a nice steal as we resume live action by Connor Greentree.
Might have been an opportunity to get the ball to Malcolm Curley there, but I have to say that it didn't look like Malcolm Curley particularly wanted the ball. I think you've got to.
That's a good overhead all the way down to Kingston.
Try and get onto those opportunities because that's what they'll be looking for. The Mavericks. They need guys willing to get in there and score goals.
Good desperation from Kingston at the other end of the field. Meantime, and Mavericks will have the ball with 7:40 to go.
Yeah, key little period of this match here. The Mavericks try and just control the ball, just dictate the match here.
Bennett's got it off Keeney. Muir's free. Nice work from George Muir. Guy, Greentree. Is this something building here for the Tridents? Greentree still has it. Woods over there trying to make a nuisance of himself.
We said that one of the things that's really set apart some of these.
His guy into the circle, and that's come off his foot, and Woods can clear and lifts it over the top to Curley, who's controlled it beautifully. Look out, there's players free here, and it's Rhys Gibbs again. Joyce is out. Oh, beautifully done. Open goal and a fantastic finish. That is superb hockey from the Mavericks. Cam Haid has got the third goal.
Well, that would be up there as counter-attack of the week. What a piece of play. Fantastic. Just some great little moments of skill, and there's a great little ball through there from Malcolm Curley and Rhys Gibbs. What a touch. And what a, you're not going to get an easier goal than that, Cam Haid. Fantastic, right onto a stick. I mean, he had to run to get there, of course. Just shows when you commit numbers forward, those opportunities can fall for you. And Matt Rhys Gibbs is capping off today's, it's been a very fine performance with an assist.
Yeah, wonderful hockey goal that
again,
one.
Really good by Nick Woods.
Could replay that one all day.
It's good vision. Get the overhead in behind the defence, and sometimes the problem for the Tridents chasing the game a little bit, committing numbers forward, and then they get caught out. So it's a little cushion the Mavericks were hoping for, is to get them a couple of goals clear. Much harder to see the Tridents coming back from this.
McIntyre stopped it beautifully. There's no urgency now. With just over 5 to play from the Mavericks' perspective.
Interesting to see if the Tridents decide to pull the keeper here.
Well, Richard Joyce is still there. Woods plays a beautiful pass again down to Fraser, and Fraser cuts back in field. Play ons to call. Fraser into the circle, and Greentree's just thudded it straight to McIntyre, and now it's Greentree going to get another chance to clear it, and this time he's past it, but unable to control it is Mortimer.
Yeah, a real feature of Nick Woods' game has been his ability to just pick those overhead passes. And the guys just sort of use it as a clearance kind of clearer pressure kind of a skill, but Nick Woods has really got good range in finding his target.
Kenny to McIntyre. Free hit against Houston. Kenny gives it back to McIntyre. Haid. Good play from Haid, but it's stopped by his brother. Oh, green card's going to be handed out here to Haid. Who's getting it? It's Cam Haid.
Yeah, he just touched the ball after the infringement was given, and it wasn't probably trying to be malicious. It was just an instinct, and but it did deny the Tridents the opportunity to take that a little bit quicker than they.
Well, this is where I reckon they should pull their keeper, play with 11 against.
Yeah, it would
10.
be a good time for a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
and perhaps they are looking to try and do that as Tim Bond, the reserve umpire, gets himself out towards the sideline. That's usually the reason he would do that at the stage of the game would be to try and... Yep, so you can see Bryce Collins is asking for that to happen, and trade up George Muir for Richard Joyce.
So now we have 11 outfielders for the Tridents and 10 players on the pitch. What, for about another 90 seconds for the Mavericks?
90 seconds in it, yeah.
Maybe.
It's difficult playing 11 against 9.
Yeah. Let's see if they can make something of it, the Tridents. Nice leave there by Muir to Lum. Lum to the circle's edge. Lifts it in beautifully, Richmond Lum. Oh, it's right across the face of goal, and Ulrich, if he'd managed to just get a stick on that, it was a certain goal.
Good stick, and then Steve Edwards has forgotten about the rule that if it came off your team, it's not your restart.
No luck there for the Tridents.
Great skill by Lum.
Wasn't it? It's over there trying to win it again for his team is Fraser.
Could have got that to Tim Neal.
And now Simon Child. Free hit though goes for the Mavericks. Bennett. Now the Tridents can cook something up here. Plenty of numbers back for the Mavericks. Remember, they're playing with a one-player deficit. And the Tridents not playing with a keeper. Bennett. Here is the opportunity for Edwards near the circle's edge. Steve Edwards cut out by Marcus Child. He's made some important interceptions in this match.
Yeah, well done, Marcus Child. I was going to say that's exactly the player you want in that situation. If you're the Tridents, you want Steve Edwards running the ball in.
So the Mavericks are back to their full complement of players. Suka down to Greentree with 140.
See the match out here. They've survived the storm of being 2 players down for that 90-second period, and it should be enough to see them home. The Tridents will have to score off this play, I would think.
Mitch Aid crashes it in, but it's cut out again by you-know-who, Marcus Child.
Bit of clairvoyancy there, Marcus Child. He just seems to know where to be.
Under 90 seconds, and the Mavericks, as you could understand with this good lead, no hurry to force the play at all. They don't have to. It's the Tridents who have to. Houston. Greentree chasing this one. Greentree trying to get it past Fraser. He's done so really well there. Play on's the call, and Lum can't guide it home.
Yeah, Fraser's gone down here. He's copped a stick maybe on the knee or something's been in the wars a little bit today. He doesn't look very comfortable there either.
He's battling Xander Fraser.
Yeah, I'd say he'll spend the last 56 seconds of this match
on the sideline.
Watching from the side. Does not look comfortable at all.
That's brought Rhys Gibbs back on.
Well, you'd have to say that it's been a pretty even match, but the Mavericks have just taken their chances.
They have indeed.
A couple of probably pretty key moments as well defensively, with Leon Hayward making that outstanding save off the corner and the missed stroke. A couple of key moments that...
Well, we'll long remember that goal by Cam Haid, though. It was a really good goal, one of the best goals of the league. That breakout goal by the Mavericks is a cracking goal. Really terrific.
You could just even sense it around the whole ground, everyone appreciating the beauty of it.
Last 20 seconds, and it's not to be for the Tridents in 2020. And that kind of sums it up, doesn't it? That play there from Corey Bennett. Child with maybe one last chance in these last few seconds. Iswar, no keeper, remember.
Penalty corner.
Penalty corner.
The Tridents didn't want that. They thought it was Simon Child was just going to wait for the hooter, but he thought, actually, I can get this to Iswar. And Max Wyndham-Smith working the PC. So now they have to defend this corner without a goalkeeper.
And of course, that came with a second or two on the clock.
And, you know, I mean, bravery is something you always want in your players, but, I mean, what do you do here? You're already 3-1 down. There's 1 second on the clock.
Are you like a bullfighter here?
Yeah,
you need that little...
I think I'd be inclined to
blanket.
Just curve my line a little bit here and make it look like I'm trying to get there. It's that sort of moment where you dive for the catch, or you dive for it, but it's already gone past. You kind of... So Nick Woods could add to his goal tally here. It'd be odds-on favourite to do that.
There it goes, a full-time hooter. And Woods has scored. That's the last play of the game. Another goal to Nick Woods. He goes to 9 goals for the tournament. And a full-time score here. 4 goals to 1 to the Mavericks, who've completed a very good second half.
You can see what happens here. So, let's do his credit. He's really tried to go at that, Ehrlich, and it's a pretty good flick by Woods. He's got it around the back of Ehrlich. It's... he really did go at this to try and prevent the shot from happening, and he's managed to sort of curve it round the back of him. Curve it, but get it round the back of him.
Well,
and once they go on target, they're hard to stop.
Completes a very good tournament for Nick Woods. 9 goals. He's the leading scorer in the tournament. All of them have come from penalty corners. 4 goals to 1 is the full-time score. We'll be back to wrap up this game right after this.
A new home is one of life's great adventures. Sentinel will help you enjoy the journey. Sentinel Homes. Design, build, enjoy.
Introducing the new Ford Escape ST Line X. Packed with the latest features so you can get moving, do more, and go further. Now available with the Ford Assured Future Value Finance offer. Simply pick your payment plan and at the end of the term, choose if you want to keep your Ford Escape, return your Ford Escape, or upgrade to a new Ford. Easy. Ford, bring on tomorrow.
Yes, the Gallagher Hockey Centre just seen the third place match between the Hauraki Mavericks and the Northern Tridents, won by the Mavericks by 4-1. Really good effort from them. 2 more goals to Nick Woods from penalty corners and field goals in the contest to Matt Rees-Gibbs and Cam Haid. Been a very good tournament for Nick Woods as we see the stats of the contest, which were very even right the way through the contest. But it's been a very good tournament for Nick Woods, who's also the captain of the Mavericks. Let's get down to Lincoln and hear what Nick Woods has to say.
Well, here with Nick Woods of the Mavericks to weather a bit of a storm in the first half, Woodsy, but boys took their opportunities.
Yeah, there's a couple of brilliant counter-attacks. I think the boys are claiming the goal of the tournament already. But no, it was good to see that we turned up in that second half and the altitude was so much better than the first outing yesterday, which was pretty piss poor if I'm being completely honest. So it was good to really see the boys put in a good effort and end the tournament on a high, right?
Yeah, exactly. And for yourself, another couple of flicks, so it's a pretty good haul over the course of the league.
Yeah, I can't complain with that. I was very lucky in a couple of aspects that some have gone through the runners and that sort of stuff when you review the clips. But yeah, it was good to get a few. Confidence was high, so yeah, what can I say?
Oh, well, excellent work by you boys today, and congratulations on picking up the bronze medal.
Cheers,
well, George, familiar territory for us, so unfortunate today. The boys, probably the scoreline didn't really reflect your performance.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing to blow out in the end there, but I thought we started really well. We built on a couple of things from yesterday. Probably discipline and consistency let us down again, so we're really good in that first half. Just a couple of minutes, we let ourselves go a couple of counter-attacks, like Woodsy was saying. Full credit to them, they had some pretty good attacks there and finished it well.
Yeah, it's obviously, this thing's done and dusted, but for next year, there's enough for you guys to take out of it in terms of building. If this, we're hoping that this Premier League will take place again next year, so enough to build on for you guys? Yeah,
I think we got a pretty young squad, and we were getting better at little things every game, and it was good to see in the last game our outletting was improved, our pressing was improved, so building for that next year, and building team, top 4 in the country, that's not too bad, eh?
Exactly. All right, well, all the best for a well-earned rest.
Thanks, George. Have a good summer.
Thanks to George Muir and the Tridents. A really good effort this last goal. What a lovely touch from Rees-Gibbs, who'd scored earlier, and Cam Haid. And interesting to hear Nick Woods saying that the Mavericks trying to claim that as goal of the tournament. Hard not to argue with that as we look at the second half goals. And this one, after the full-time hooter, Woods putting in another penalty corner with no goalkeeper, of course, for the Northern Tridents. And that iced the game for the Hauraki Mavericks, who claim third place with a 4-1 win over the Northern Tridents. That means there's only one game left in this year's league, and it's on Sky Sport Live in 20 minutes. The grand final of the men's competition. The Falcons, if they win, they'll win both the men's and the women's tournaments in 2020. But can the Alpiners spoil the party? That game starts at 2 o'clock. We hope you can join us then.
The Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League is proudly brought to you by Hockey New Zealand in association with Sentinel Homes, Vantage Windows and Doors, Computer Concepts Limited, Sky Sport, your home for hockey, and Sport New Zealand.